Live to Doppler 10 radar showing a few.
There it is!
10 TV and Donato's will send one lucky winner on a 5-day trip.
Wall-to-Wall Sports homecoming turns out to be a long day for the Buckeye football team. Ohio State blows a 17-point lead. We'll break down the loss. Ryan Miller will go one-on-one with Ohio State linebacker Cortland Bullard. The Battle of Ohio takes place down in Cincinnati. The Bengals and the Browns battle it out in Paul Brown Stadium. The rivalry looks to be back as the Tigers take it to the Dogs. The Ohio State men's hockey team expecting big things this season. We'll head to the Schottenstein Center to talk with Coach John Markle and his Buckeyes. And they're a Central Ohio high school football team that is undefeated. But this football team has no school. We'll have that story and much more coming up next on Wall-to-Wall Sports.
The Wisconsin Badgers come into Ohio Stadium and ruin homecoming. Hello, everybody. I'm Dom Tiberi, and welcome to Wall-to-Wall Sports.
And I'm Ryan Miller. You know, yesterday's game was a tough one to figure out. Let's face it, the Buckeyes were in total control of the game at the beginning, but then things went south in a hurry in that second half.
Indeed, things went very wrong in the second half. The Buckeyes looked to have the game well in hand, jumping out to a 17-0 lead, but then momentum switched in a big way as the Badgers took control. Steve Bellisario under attack big time in the second half. He really had little time to throw the football, and when he did, he had trouble finding the receivers. The Buckeyes with just 5 first downs in the second half, and how about this number? -4 yards rushing.
Anytime you get up 17 points and you can't answer when they score, it's very frustrating. We didn't move the ball when we needed to. We missed a field goal there, which hurt, but I mean, bottom line is we didn't get the ball close enough to score points.
You know, when we run the ball, it's just great mechanics that we have, you know, the 2 backs we have, you know. All the backs we have, actually. We run it great. You know, when you pass, it differentiates a little bit.
Well, defensively, Ohio State had a solid performance in the first half, but in the second, the Badgers seemed to wear the Buckeyes down. Seems hard to believe, but the Buckeye defense gave up 20 unanswered points, 13 of those points coming in that second half. The Buckeyes limited the Badgers to no yards in the first 11 minutes of the ball game, and just a total of 112 yards in the first half alone. But the Badgers came back with nearly 200 yards of total offense after halftime.
You got to give Wisconsin credit. I thought that they came in and had a good game plan. I thought their receivers played well. We probably underestimated 22 a little bit.
They started to get momentum, started to move the ball 5 yards here, 5 yards there, and then throw a big play. And they just moved the ball on us in the second half.
With the loss, the Buckeyes moved to 2-1 in Big Ten play. Ryan had a chance to talk to Ohio State linebacker Cortland Bullard about yesterday's disappointing loss.
Was this football game a tale of 2 halves?
I would say so. First half, you know, defensive-wise, we came out, you know, stopped the run. We was able to establish a lot of good things. Offense, I felt like electricity was flowing throughout the game. And then, you know, we sort of started letting them make big plays. I mean, they didn't dominate the game, but they made big plays, and they was able to capitalize off their big plays, and that was the turning factor in the game.
And you remember the punt play down here in this end zone, as a matter of fact. I think Groom pulls it down, kind of scrambles. It seemed like that was maybe a changing point in the game.
Yeah, it was. I felt like it was a changing point in the game, but you know, I have faith in all my players, and you know, he had to pull it down for apparent reasons. You know, he said it was pressure on the edge, so hey, you know, things happen, you know, in a football game.
Well, still, you're going at halftime 17-7, have an opportunity to come back out and shut them down, but they come out and they score on that opening possession in the second half. How crucial was that to maybe the mental psyche of that defense at that point?
Oh, that was very crucial. I mean, you know, that's when we really said, hey, you know, we have a ball game in our hands, because, you know, we should have came out and we should have just shut them down.
As far as shutting down big plays, next week you're going to have an opportunity to take on a team like San Diego State here at home again. What do you tell these younger guys?
Hey, you got to keep your head up, you know. It's still got a lot of season left, you know, and you're going to have to go back to the drawing board, you know, always keep your head to the sky and, hey, attack hard.
That's all you can do, circle the wagons and attack hard. Your take, obviously this football team needs to get it going against San Diego State. I mean, this, on paper, this is the game you should win.
Yeah, well, let's face it, a little disappointing to go ahead and squander a 17-point lead for Ohio State, but the best thing is they've got a game next week, and I think that they want to get out there and play as quickly as they can to kind of right some of the wrongs that they made this Saturday in the shoe and kind of give the home crowd just a better performance than they left them with, that bitter taste in their mouth here yesterday.
Weirdest thing I heard was, and Steve Bellisari's caught heat throughout his career, but the boos were awful yesterday.
Well, there's really kind of no part for it, let's face it. These kids are college athletes. Anytime you got some fans booing the team is one thing, but when you're booing an individual, there's really no part of that for that in college athletics. I thought it was an absolute disgrace and a joke for some of the fans and the way that they handled themselves there in that game, and in particular the post game.
Yeah, I don't understand booing college guys. They're not getting paid. Don't boo them. All right, up next, as mentioned, the Buckeyes this Saturday at home against San Diego State. You can see the game right here on 10 TV. But right now, we want to switch gears to the National Football League. And you know, Ryan, it's billed as the Battle of Ohio.
And you know what the Battle of Ohio means around these parts? It's the Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Cleveland Browns. Over 64,000 fans on hand. It was the biggest crowd ever to see a sporting event in Cincinnati. Not a bad one.
No, and that's because of the new Paul Brown Stadium. It's just that big as the Bengals hosted those barking dogs. And we'll start things out first quarter. Bengals up 3-0, but the Browns come back. Tim Couch to Kevin Johnson. Browns led 7-3, but the Bengals took the lead back in the third quarter. John Kitna to Darnay Scott. Bengals led 10-7, and they kept it going in the fourth quarter. Corey Dillon from 5 yards out. Bengals led 21-7. Dillon, a season, he always plays well against the Browns. Season high, 140 yards rushing in the contest. The Bengals going to win 24-14.
Must win, but it was a very, very important game for us to stabilize our team, get our team going back the way that it was playing earlier in the year.
It was crucial, and we knew what was at stake. You know, our identity was on the line. It was a must-win just to, you know, contend in our conference.
Well, the good news is that the Battle of Ohio is once again a battle. In other words, the rivalry between the Bengals and the Browns appears to be back at full strength. For years, this is the game that the fans of both teams have pointed to. And even though there have been some lean times in the past, like when the Browns were not in existence, the rivalry looks to be back where it once was. This was the 56th meeting, and it doesn't get any closer than this. The Browns have won 28 games, and the Bengals also 28.
There's a lot of Browns fans down here today in our place, so I think it does fire us up a little more, knowing that these guys coming down trying to disturb our game in our own place. So.
Last time when they came here, they really beat us up, you know, and then they were talking junk and everything, whatever. So, you know, that was one of the things that we talked about this week.
All right, the Cincinnati defense deserves a lot of credit for the victory today. The Bengals limited the Browns to just 211 yards of total offense. How about just 34 yards on the ground game, 177 yards through the air? The Bengal defense with a very good outing.
We only had 2 road games, so it's unfair to say, okay, this defense can't play well on the road, you know. But we definitely have to find a way to match the type of intensity and emotion that we play at home.
Booker even said something about that on the bench about fourth quarter. He goes, we need to start playing like this on the road. And, you know, we need to get all that ironed out, and, you know, we got a lot more ball games we got to win.
So Battle of Ohio Part 1 goes to the Bengals. Right. Of course, they'll meet later in the season up in Cleveland. But what was it like down at Paul Brown Stadium?
Well, you saw the fans there. The fans going out of control. You got the dogs barking. No dog pound there, but a lot of Browns fans traveling down I-71 to Cincinnati, really to make for it a hostile environment for some of the Cincinnati Bengals players. They said after the game, I was in the locker room, they took that as kind of a challenge to maybe crank themselves up a little bit more emotionally, especially on that defensive side of the ball. And I think they came out, shut down Tim Couch and the Browns offense. Let's face it, first half they only gave up 1 touchdown by Tim Couch and shut him down the rest of the game. That was an opportunity for the Browns really to get back into the game in that second half, but the Bengals defense was just too strong. And
you know, you mentioned the rivalry. For fans of this rivalry, I'm a Bengals fan. I go back to the days of Boomer and Bernie. Boomer Esiason, of course, and Bernie Kosar. I mean, those guys, that's when it was really, for me, at the height, with those two guys going at each other and everything. It seems like the rivalry is back to where it belongs. And I know the fans the fans are what make the rivalry, too.
The fans definitely make the rivalry, but let's face it, anytime you got a couple of teams that are winning football games, let's face it, these teams are winning. The Bengals are winning at home right now. The Browns have won both at home and on the road. So anytime you get these two teams winning, it makes it for a bigger rivalry in the AFC. They all talk about the rivalry in the AFC. The fans all talk about just the rivalry amongst one another in the tailgating in the parking lot. So I think the Browns and the Bengals players enjoy the rivalry, but the fans obviously take it a little more serious.
And let's face it, you made a very good point. There's been some lean years like when Cleveland didn't have a team, so they couldn't have the rivalry.
There's your jab, but let's face it, the Bengals just did it on the field today. Enough talking. They're going to have to go ahead and try to have a repeat performance up in Cleveland.
All right, I'm glad you had a good time.
It was a great time up there.
Yes, sir.
As for the Buckeyes, this guy's out of control. Buckeyes on Sunday, there were plenty of them. A great showing now for a number of players, Dommy.
Beginning with Terry Glenn, who made his return to the New England Patriots, the Pats hosting the Chargers, and Glenn with a touchdown reception in the second quarter. Patriots going to win the ball game, by the way, 29-26 in overtime. Glenn would finish the game with 7 catches, 110 yards. Chris Carter, a good game. How about this, Rhino? 111 yards and a touchdown. Eddie George, 85 yards and a touchdown. Ahmed Plummer, 4 tackles. Niall Diggs, 4 tackles also. So good day for our Buckeyes on Sunday. Terry Glenn, though, making his return, and a good one.
Kind of making his first appearance. I think Terry Glenn, obviously, some things in the offseason that he had to get ironed out. He had to sit out the first 4 games of the season. But now with an opportunity back in the saddle there for New England, really a great way to start off his season. I know he wants to get everything behind him. I talked with him extensively in the offseason, and this is a situation for him. He really wants to get out of New England. He wants to have a good year, and this is a great start for him because I think both management and Terry Glenn know the best place for him is out of New England.
All right, let me write that down because for those of us that have rotisserie football teams, fantasy football teams, Terry Glenn would be a good pickup right now because he wants to have a big year, right?
Definitely. So write it down.
Write it down there. Write that. If you're out there, and I got to hurry up and get out of here so I can run and get on my computer and pick up Terry Glenn. All right?
We'll see what you can do.
All right, we have to take a break right now here on Wall to Wall Sports, but we have a ton of stuff still to come, including more on the Buckeyes loss. Raymond Harris will have this week's Storm Watch.
But first, coming up, we're going to check in on the Ohio State hockey team. The Buckeyes ready to open the season with high expectations. We're going to head over to the Schottenstein Center and Coach Markle when we return.
This is an Arby's Market Fresh sandwich. It's changing the way people think about fast food.
The bread is very fresh, and the turkey is delicious.
It has a little pizzazz to it.
Almost a honey flavor, maybe?
Spicy brown honey mustard.
It's excellent, delicious.
That is fast food.
This does not taste like fast food.
It's from Arby's.
From Arby's?
Yeah.
So try any one of Arby's Market Fresh sandwiches.
I had fast food about an hour ago, and it wasn't like this.
It'll change the way you think about fast food.
Hey, sweetie, what's wrong? Don't worry. I'm sure that the neighbors are nice.
I baked this pie for you. What?
Downloads faster, smoother, easier. DSL internet from SBC Ameritech. We're on it.
Call to see if DSL is available in your area.
I'm here at Ed's Easy Field to talk to you about Super Lotto Plus 448. Last year, lots of people, just like you, won over $161 million playing like Super 449 Lotto Plus. And the odds are better than you think. 450. As a matter of fact, the odds of winning any prize are only 1 in 451.
The Ohio Lottery. Odds are you'll have fun.
Good luck!
Are you a fan of minimum coverage? We are. 1-800-SAFE-AUTO. Minimum coverage for minimum budgets.
Woohoo! We're going to the Mega Mall. Act now and get 0% for up to 5 years on 9 new manufacturers with 31 times the selection. Crikey! And just announced 0% on thousands of used vehicles as well. Get 0% for up to 5 years on the best domestics and hottest imports in the market, all at one place. And now, used cars and trucks too. Chrysler, Jeep, Ford, Nissan, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Kia, Hyundai. We're dealing.
Welcome back to Wall to Wall Sports. The Ohio State men's hockey team all set to open the season. And the Buckeyes feeling pretty good about their chances this year.
Well, they ought to. Let's face it, the Buckeyes bring back 20 of 22 letter winners from a year ago, including sophomore sensation R.J. Umberger, who led the Buckeyes in points and assists last year. Also back is his classmate Dave Steckel, a couple of guys who went in the NHL draft. He ranked first with 17 goals for the club. Last night, Ohio State hockey team, they had a little exhibition game against the U.S. National Under-18 team. The regular season opens October 20th against Notre Dame.
And joining us from the Schottenstein Center, Ohio State hockey coach John Markle. Coach, thanks for being with us tonight. What are your expectations for this year's club?
Well, you know, I think we have to expect that we crawl up the league standings. I think we finished in 7th last year, and we'd like to get in the top 4 and host a playoff series.
Coach, I talked a little bit about those two impressive freshmen from a year ago. They've got a year under their belt as far as experience. How important is that for maybe them to rub off on some of the other guys on the club?
Well, I think we had almost 9 freshmen play regular last year. So I think the total commitment there of the whole total group getting a lot of experience is going to help, you know, each and every night in this tough league.
Last night in action, the U.S. National Under-18 club. I know you didn't get a victory, but you played them tough, and the thing is you found out a lot about your club, and it's a coaching tool too, isn't it, Coach?
Yeah, we broke down a lot of tape there today. Obviously, we like to win, and anytime we lose, I'm not going to make it pleasant for them, but they were a very good, talented club that showed us a lot about ourselves, and hopefully we can take that one exhibition game knowing that they played 13 before we even played any, and use that to our benefit.
Well, Coach, you dropped the puck here on the 20th. Let's face it, the CCHA opponent in Notre Dame. How important is that to get out with kind of a quick start with a win?
Well, I would have liked to have a win last night, but you know what? We didn't drop any points. Use it as a learning tool, and you know, it's always important, and especially in the long run for the NCAAs. You want to win each and every game, and especially gain points against opponents such as Notre Dame. They're always a tough opponent.
I asked you about your expectations. Playoffs, though, that's what you guys work for. You want to do well in your league, but you want to get back to the NCAA tournament. As you look at this club's chances, it looks to be, although some of these guys are young, they do have the experience now.
Yeah, you know, winning percentage, I guess when you come back to the Notre Dame, your winning percentage over the whole year is what's so very, very important, so you don't want to drop too many games. But a young team, you've got to have expectations that you got to try and win the league. And if you can win the league, you make the NCAA tournament. But there's only 12 teams that make it. It's a tough road, and I think if we gain each and every game we play, I think we might have a chance at the end of the year.
Coach, everyone's going to talk about the flash and the scoring of this offensive club because there's a lot of stars there. But what about on the back end, in particular the goaltending? How are you going to be this season?
I think we're going to be solid. You know, Peter Wishlof's hurt right now, but I think he'll come back as a solid contender for the first place job. Mike Betts has got a year under his belt, did quite well in the weight room, and Kelly Halawadi is a third goalie just waiting for his chance. So I think we have a solid goaltending trio, and you know, they come to play each and every night, and hopefully they'll have a lot of success.
Any surprises or anything we may look forward to this season? Obviously, Steckel, Umberger, we know about those guys, but anything else that you think the fans might want to look towards as far as this club this year, Coach?
Well, I think you're going to see 20 guys trying to grind it out and try and work on their winning percentage here at home. This is a tough building. Teams get really excited about playing us here, just like that team last night did. And you know, I think we're going to see a better home record, and hopefully that'll also signify that we're here to play, and we're a contender, and hopefully the fans will show us that support. All
right, Coach, thanks a lot. Say thank you to the fellas for us, and good luck this season. All kicks underway. The 20th, Notre Dame coming to the Schottenstein Center, and it could be a sellout, so you might want to get the tickets now, right?
Yes, you know, we do run up against the football game again. It's a 5:05 start on Saturday and a 4 o'clock start the next day. You know, hopefully we get a good crowd coming in from that football game.
All right, Coach.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach.
John Markle, thank you very much. And switching gears now to baseball. Cleveland Indians, how about this, with a chance to wrap up their playoff series today. Tribe hosting Seattle, leading the best-of-5 series 2-1, Ryan.
Amazing. A victory today would send the Tribe back to the American League Championship Series. Well, the Tribe did their part early on. They jumped out in the second inning. The solo home run here by Juan Gonzalez puts the Tribe up 1-0. Mariners would go ahead and come back, though, in the 7th inning, scoring 3 runs. The single by Ichiro Suzuki drives in the run, and the Mariners lead 2-1. Then we go to the 9th, and Aaron's looking for some insurance. Edgar Martinez with a 2-run homer. Seattle goes on to win 6-5. The 5th game, 6-2. The 5th game now, the second game, is tomorrow in Seattle. Huge game.
I don't know. I think Moyer's going for Seattle.
I tell you what, if they upset Seattle, that could be one of the bigger upsets.
Oh, yeah. We still have much more to come on Wall to Wall Sports.
That's right. Coming up, we're going to introduce you to the football team that is undefeated, but the team will not be making the playoffs. We'll have the answer why coming up next.
The Civic from Honda.
Hey guys, can you help us? We need directions.
It comes with an extraordinarily well-insulated cabin.
Why is it so hard to meet chicks anyway?
The window!
I do not know.
Amazing, but true.
While supplies last, get special APR financing as low as 3.9% for 36 months on 2001 Civics.
Sometimes it just isn't your sport. If that's the case, we'll buy your old sports equipment from you. Play It Again Sports. We buy and sell used sports equipment.
I'd been waiting for a day like this. A day when an all-in-one wireless plan would make things simple for people. The Sprint PCS Total Digital Connections plan is here. It brings all the best features together: clear calls, nationwide long distance, voice command, and wireless web. Thanks, boy. And now it's my job to tell the world.
Total Digital Connections plan, only from Sprint PCS.
Where would you think a sandwich like this would come from?
A nice deli.
Like a deli?
From a deli down right around the corner here.
This is an Arby's Market Fresh sandwich. So good, you'll think it's from a deli.
The turkey's delicious.
I like the dressing.
You can tell it's from a deli.
Not from a deli. Fast food.
Yeah, we're right.
It doesn't taste like fast food.
Try one of Arby's Market Fresh sandwiches.
Arby's?
Yeah!
I thought they just did roast beef.
Well, you thought wrong, mister.
It'll change the way you think about fast food.
Changed my mind.
The all-new 200 horsepower Acura RSX.
Welcome back to Wall to Wall Sports. What do you call a high school football team that does not have its own school?
Now, what would you say if the team won all of its games and did not have a chance to make it to the playoffs? Well, that team is called the Columbus Crusaders.
It's another practice day for the Columbus Crusaders. But this is not your normal high school football team. The Crusaders have players from 10 different high schools. That is, high schools without football teams. There's also 9 homeschoolers on the team for a grand total of 39 players.
There were a lot of kids that were falling through the cracks and didn't have an opportunity to play in a real, if you will, high school football situation. And of course, that's true. Homeschoolers or young people from Christian schools that don't have football programs didn't have the ability to come and play for a team that could actually play real high school games. So they started the program 6 years ago.
Now, the Crusaders are not members of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, and they never will be because they're not a high school. But the teams they play, they are members of the association.
Now, you wide receivers, we got to block a lot better this week. Huddle up.
This is the first year ever the Crusaders have competed at the varsity level. They're having a great season.
You know, granted, we do have the ability to take guys from different schools, but it still feels good to, you know, go out there and beat a team that could be playing in the playoffs.
It's like hard to really form a relationship with some of the guys because they're from so many different areas that it's not like you see them at school every day or they're like down the street and you can't just say, hey, let's go out tonight or something like that. But as the season goes on, I mean, the guys really get along, and especially in the summer with two-a-days, when you're there for most of the day together, you form some special relationships with the guys. So.
Because they're not members of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, the Crusaders will not be allowed to play in the playoffs. But that's okay. These guys play football for the love of the game.
For us, it's not really about, the playoffs or anything like that. It's just to be out here and, to learn the game of football and to learn to be a better person for it.
Last year, this year, whatever, you play each game and you do the best you can, and the season ends, and we give them a hug and send them on till next year, and that's the way it is, no matter where we fare in that. So we get kind of excited if we play a team and they happen to go on and get in the playoffs, and this year there's actually a couple of teams that might happen with. So that's exciting stuff. Nice play, Javi.
Great story there, of course, the Columbus Crusaders. Kind of unique to this, just to Columbus? Or?
Only team we know of like that in the area, and for that matter in the state, really.
And I know their coach, Mike Stanley, you've crossed paths before, right?
He was my wrestling coach and an assistant football. He was a head wrestling coach and assistant football coach at DeSales. Also coached at Licking Heights, and he was the head wrestling coach at Miami University and was an assistant football coach there. So this guy
we have to
has
thank,
been around.
We get to thank Coach Stanley for you.
Well,
teaching you
I don't know if he wants credit for that.
Coach, thanks a lot.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants credit for that. And by the way, the Crusaders won yesterday. They remain undefeated. But we have to take a break right now.
That's right. When we return, we're going to check in with Raymond Harris. So don't go away. The Storm Watch is coming up next.
It's Applebee's Fiesta del Grill. Make your taste buds dance with tangy tequila lime chicken. Or for a limited time, the sizzling Southwest steak skillet. Only at Applebee's. Who's grilling America's favorite sirloin steaks? Well, sink your teeth into our perfectly seasoned house sirloin and you'll know. It's got to be Applebee's. Eating good, eating good.
Hey, Fred, welcome to Delaware. I hope your new Ford store goes well. Fred, hi, I'm Dick Norris with Norris Chevrolet Cadillac Toyota. Now, you still got a problem. You don't sell Chevys, Cadillacs, or Toyotas. You know, the brands customers really want, like Tahoe's, $7,000 off. Seville's, $10,000 off. 4Runner's, $6,000 off. Sorry, Fred. So come on, check us out at Norris Chevrolet Cadillac Toyota in Delaware.
Hi, my name is Pete. I'm a football addict. The primal fury of powerful men. Looks larger than life on my big screen TV.
Where'd you get your big screen TV, Pete?
H.H. Gregg, same-day delivery.
Same-day delivery?
H.H. Gregg has the largest selection of big screens in town, and now we can deliver your new big screen the very same day. H.H. Gregg, welcome to the savings revolution.
Face it, extra cash in a CD player are good things. That's why Chevy Cavalier comes with $2,500 cash back or 0% APR financing. And it's equipped with a CD player standard. Hey, with $2,500 cash back or 0% APR financing, a night out never sounded so good. Cavalier, hurry, see your Chevy dealer. Let's keep America rolling.
What can a fan do? A Blue Jackets fan can win with 10 TV and Pepsi. A fan can win a trip for 10 to see the Blue Jackets take on the Detroit Red Wings. A fan can win one of 10 Collector's Edition autographed Blue Jackets fan can sets featuring 10 of your favorite Blue Jackets players. A fan can win one of 10 Blue Jackets jerseys. What can a fan do? When they log on to BlueJackets.com, a fan can win with the Columbus Blue Jackets, Pepsi, and 10 TV.
Tough loss for the Ohio State football team yesterday as Wisconsin beat the Buckeyes 20-17.
That's right. So what was the key play of the game? Raymond Harris has studied the game, and he has his thoughts on tonight's Storm Watch.
Thanks, guys. I'm Raymond Harris, and welcome to this week's Storm Watch. Yesterday was homecoming for the Ohio State football team, but it turned out to be a very sad day for the Buckeye faithful. After jumping out to a 17-0 lead, the Buckeyes were not able to hold the momentum. This was very key because the Badgers basically took the game right from the Buckeyes' hands. To me, the big play came in the third quarter. The Buckeyes up 17-7, but the OSU defense is on its heels. Wisconsin receiver Nick Davis scores from 42 yards out to cut the lead to 17-14. quarterback Brooks Bollinger hits Davis, who's slanting in the middle, across the middle. Watch Ohio State defensive back C. Grant. He's right there to make the play, but he simply misses the tackle. And then it's a foot race between Dustin Fox and Nick Davis. Nick Davis wins the race, unfortunately for the Buckeyes. To me, this is the key play because it totally took the emotion away from Ohio State. The Buckeye offense was having trouble moving the ball, and then the defense that had been so strong up to this point, they give up the big play. It was kind of like witnessing a train crash in slow motion. The Buckeyes just could not get things back on the right track. That'll be all for the Stormwatch this week. I'm Raymond Harris, and I'll see you next week.
All right, thanks a lot, Raymond. Buckeyes try to regroup this Saturday at home, San Diego State, noon kick. You can see the game right here on 10 TV.
That's right, they're going to have to because let's face it, we've got 1 week to go. We've got one loss in the Big Ten, but what's good is they have one opportunity now to get things right the ship, take on a team like San Diego State. And I got a feeling that, you know, let's face it, a team like San Diego State, they should go out there and hopefully cure what ails them.
Yeah, this is a game on paper Ohio State definitely should win, and hopefully they get real healthy against San Diego. That will do it for this week's edition of Wall to Wall Sports. We'll see you next week.
Woohoo! We're going to the Mega Mall. Act now and get 0% for up to 5 years on 9 new manufacturers with 31 times the selection.
Crikey!
And just announced 0% on thousands of used vehicles as well. Get 0% for up to 5 years on the best domestics and hottest imports in the market, all at one place. And now, used cars and trucks too. Chrysler, Jeep, Ford, Nissan, Mazda, Mitsubishi, Kia, Hyundai. We're dealing.
Okay, kids.
Mom, we have our phones. We can check in.
Okay.
Introducing the Family Share Plan from Verizon Wireless. Now your family can share a ton of minutes on one calling plan.
Hey, Mom, Crimson or Candy Apple Red?
With up to 4 separate lines.
Is 20 feet enough?
Hurry in and buy one Nokia phone for $29.99 and get up to 3 free with activation.
Honey, do we need an extra hand?
And now get an extra 3,000 night and weekend minutes to share. Just call 1-800-2JOIN-IN today. Now that's something the whole family can get excited about. Verizon Wireless. Join in.
The only thing growing as fast as your kids?
Yeah, we'll get together to do some lunch.
The cost of college tuition. Now you can keep pace with College Advantage, the tax-free $529 college savings plan you can use at any college in the country. Contributions are deductible from state of Ohio taxes. Investment options range from guaranteed to growth. Invest as little as $15 to get started. College Advantage, the easy, affordable, flexible, smart way to save for college. Call 1-800-AFFORD-IT, log on at collegeadvantage.com, or contact your financial advisor to start. And make the prospect of saving for college a whole lot easier to swallow. College Advantage, managed by the Ohio Tuition Trust Authority and Putnam Investments.
Does the world really need another mid-sized family sedan? It does if it's redesigned with V6 power, room for 5, and the freedom of America's best warranty plan. Introducing the new Sonata from Hyundai.
Buckeye Replay is brought to you by Federated Insurance, Kroger, McDonald Investments, the James Cancer Hospital and Solove Research Institute, McDonald's, First Star, Dominion Homes, and by the Ohio State University Medical Center.
Fourth and goal, Buckeyes to the Badger 1. Jesse Klein, wing back to the right. Jamar Martin, Jonathan Wells in the eye. Belisari takes it straight forward himself. And we have no signal yet as the bodies are all piled up. Touchdown, Steve Belisari. His first rushing touchdown of the year. And Ohio State out-physicaled Wisconsin on the goal line to take a 9-0 lead.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jeff Hogan, and this is Buckeye Replay for Sunday morning, October 14th.
Thank you for joining us. Over the next half hour, we're going to take you back to the Horseshoe for all the key plays, stats, and players from Saturday's disappointing loss. Ohio State 20-17, they fall to the Wisconsin Badgers. You'll also see the Ohio State marching band perform, and I'll talk about next week's opponent, the San Diego State Aztecs. All that is straight ahead. Stay right where you are. We've got much more coming up right after this quick timeout.
Buckeye fans, I'm head football coach Jim Tressel. We are pleased to once again welcome Federated Insurance Companies as a major sponsor of our Buckeye television shows again this year. We are especially pleased to join Federated in their support of Big Brothers Big Sisters, an organization like the Ohio State University that is dedicated to making a significant difference in the lives of deserving young people. Go Buckeyes, go Big Brothers Big Sisters, and thanks again to Federated Insurance.
Dan, I just heard you're leaving.
Yeah,